1 week into the baseball season, how are we feeling about the Mariners so far? I'm going to break it down on this episode today. We're talking about the offense. We're talking about Emerson Hancock's start, and then we're doing a little game preview for tonight's game. Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Edwards. Thanks so much for joining me here on Mariners Daily. If you appreciate Mariners Daily content, then freaking subscribe already. Let's go, baby. This is the show for the thinking Mariners fan. It's a time where we can do a little deep dive on the stats and give you a little explanation about what is going on. Because you can watch all the games, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. Same thing with the numbers. You could read all the numbers you want, and it's not going to tell you the whole story. So I try and break it down a little bit on this show here. My name is Sam. This is a business casual version of Mariners Daily because I got to go to work right after this. So let's lock in, baby. First story here. Jeff Passan was on the Brock and Salt show. I said salt. Um, there was an instant question that was asked, and it's the one right there. Why did the Colt Emerson extension get done? Why did this happen? Were the Mariners pushing extra hard for this? What was the deal here? And I think Passan had an interesting take, and I wanted to review it. So, why did this deal get done with Colt now? Passan said, I think because he wanted to do it. Now, that sounds obvious, but I think it does put a little bit more of the onus on Colt versus what you could say is from, we should be applauding the team for this. And yes, we should be because teams should want to do this. And that's what Passan goes on to say. He says, with situations like this, with a star player like Colt Emerson, you have seen the player as you have to see, sorry, you have to see the player as the driving force because every team will do a deal like this. Yeah. I mean, Emerson is projected to be a stud, and any opportunity to lock down a player of his caliber for what we believe to be his caliber, obviously, because it's not proven yet. He's not in the majors yet, but to be able to lock down this many free agent years for a guy like this, which it's an 8-year deal, could be a 9-year deal. So you could be locking down 3 years of free agency roughly if he does get promoted um, before the cutoff here, which stands for thought. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I don't know when he's going to get called up. JP Crawford just got activated from the IL. Very short rehab assignment for him. So that's kind of interesting. Kind of was surprised to see him up so quickly. Ryan Bliss got sent back down to AAA. I say back down. He started the team in the majors, but he does need more time, obviously, as we can see. And it's not like we really trusted him as even a platoon player. That wasn't really clearly that wasn't the plan because he wasn't starting versus lefties or not starting versus every lefty. We were trusting Cole Young. We were trusting Leo Rivas. So, and I think those are the guys that we do believe in a little bit more for right now. And we could have showed that Bliss is going to have to prove himself. And you know what? Same thing with Emerson in the short term. He's going to have to prove himself to get on this major league roster sooner rather than later because we have the depth, because we're doing well, and because we have the luxury to be able to keep him in the minors until he proves himself instead of having to rush it. Let's look at the Phillies as a team. Now, Justin Crawford is one of their top prospects who is now in the majors. He is the starting center fielder. Now, he's doing very well right now, which is fantastic. But if you look back at his stats last year, you could say it for the same thing for their stud rookie starter who just went, Andrew Painter. What you'd prefer for those guys is for them to prove themselves in the minors first to show that they are ready for the major leagues. Now, both guys have started off well so far through this first season. Sorry, through this first week. Oh my gosh, through this first season. Yeah, I thought the button down was going to help me in the presenting style, and it's clearly not. So, no, yeah, Painter had a really good start for his first start in the majors, and he looked really good. But all of last year, he had an over 5 ERA in AAA. Like, he did not prove himself. And I'm not saying because he didn't prove himself that means he's not going to be good in the majors and this past start doesn't count. But it's not the way you want to enter the season. To be relying on your young guys, especially as a contending team, as a team that expects to contend, as the Phillies do, and as clearly the Seattle Mariners do. You don't want to just put yourself backed into a corner here, as I am. Uh, back yourself into a corner in the decision that you have to make. You want to be able to have the flexibility to go, wait a second, no, he needs more time, like Emerson definitely does. Now, obviously, it's not a perfect comparison versus like Cole Emerson and JP Crawford, or sorry, JP Crawford, Justin Crawford, and Andrew Painter on the Phillies, because those guys did have a lot more time in the minors just in general. And because they had a lot more time, we can look at their stats and go, well, they weren't good enough. But the Phillies did not add enough to be able to give themselves the luxury of this decision. And you know what? The Mariners did. This was the situation we were going to be worried about entering this season. If we did not get a guy like Brendan Donovan, who is a quality starter and who is doing well right now. Let's get into it. Let's talk about our offense. Let's talk about what is working right now through this first week of the season. We've got some guys that are absolutely legit so far. And is it going to continue? Let's break it down. Brendan Donovan, first off, is legit. The power, I mean, 2 home runs already through the first 30 plate appearances. He's great to see. I'm not saying he's all of a sudden a power bat now, but he's getting it done and he's hitting the ball hard, which is absolutely huge. He's got 2 homers so far, 1 stolen base, a 13 walk percentage, 20 K percentage. He's hitting 417 with a 533 on base and a 750 slugging percentage. 0.5 F4. Obviously, all of these rate stats, like it's way too early. I know it's way too early, but I just wanted to put it in context because it's so easy to see, how many hits the guy has, and you're like, oh, okay, like yeah, he's at like 13 hits. That's awesome. 417 batting average, and he's hitting the ball hard. These are not singles. These are not all singles he's hitting here. Leadoff home run. He's getting the job done. And I've been using that sentence quite a bit. The Mariners are 3-4 right now. Okay. I would not say that is getting the job done. But if we could stay 500 in games that, and I know we're not technically 500 yet, it's an uneven amount of games. We're slightly below 500. But if we can stay in a roughly 500 record without our stud bats doing super well, with Raleigh, Julio, and Josh Naylor all not doing well at the same time, if we can stay 500 even when those guys aren't doing well, I think that's getting the job done. Because when those guys are good, then that means we are going to be that much better and we'll be that much higher above 500. And honestly, I think this is kind of how winning clubs work here. And this is kind of what I was a little nervous about, but also excited about entering this season. And what I wanted confirmation of was that the rest of this lineup can get the job done. And I think they're kind of proving it right now. I know it feels, we feel weird. We feel a little negative watching the games, especially. You lose a close game like game 3 versus Cleveland. Really frustrating to see Munoz, deal with those struggles, let the run in, give up the home run to DeLauder. Frustrating loss. But the offense was still alive even to the end of that game. We were still scoring runs consistently. 5 runs overall in that game. Our bullpen should have kept us in the game, but it didn't. And as long as the offense is working, I know the bullpen is going to come back around. Like, I know it's going to work. It's also, even if it doesn't, let's say Munoz is a big problem right now. Let's say he doesn't do half as well as we expected him. Let's say Bizardo really regresses. Let's say Ferrer is just not what we expected him to be, and he's just fine. He's whatever. Let's say all of those things happen. The bullpen is so much easier to upgrade than the offense. So much easier. So the sign in this first week to see that our offense is working is the biggest boost that we could get because we know the rotation is going to be good. And I'm pretty freaking confident that our bullpen is going to be fine as well. Even if it's not, pretty easy to upgrade the deadline. So all things considered, as long as the offense is working well enough, like I said, if they can stay right around 500, even like while their star bats are not working, while they're not clicking, fantastic. Fantastic. Cole Young is also doing well. He's not doing amazing, but he's doing well. It's still a 30. He's still striking out 30% of the time, but and I say still, he did not strike out 30% of the time last year, even in the majors. So I'm not super happy to see this swing and miss in his game, but he's hitting the ball harder. He's not lifting the ball more. The barrel percentage is the same as it was we saw last year, 5.9 barrel percentage, right around what we saw last year. I think it was 5.6 last year. The hard hit percentage is up so far, 41% versus about 31% last year. So just hit the ball harder. We don't need him to be a home run hitter. Just get the job done. He's hitting over 300 right now, 346 on base. We know he's not going to walk too much, but I'd like to see the walks come up, strikeouts come down. Obviously, for any young player, that's what you want to see, but he's swinging well so far. And yeah, it's great to be able to have a guy like that that can pick you up a little bit along with Donovan. That's like the top and bottom of our order right there that are picking up the pace here, which is fantastic. Now, two guys that I did want to talk about real quick before we get to Emerson Hancock was Dominic Canzone and Luke Raley. These guys are doing what we were hoping they were going to do. First off, Canzone is absolutely killing it. 17 plate appearances, 2 home runs already, not striking out. He's hitting 300, 333, 800 slugging. Obviously, it's only 17 plate appearances. So listen, man, you know what I'm going to say. You get it. You get it. You get it. Grain of salt, grain of salt, grain of salt. But I do really believe in Kenzone. And I believe in what he's doing. The fact that he's killing it right now is just awesome to see. And seeing Rayleigh healthy and seeing the power, return here, 3 home runs, only 19 plate appearances, both guys just feel like they're going to have some really cool years. Canzone, obviously, I think is the higher ceiling here. Rayleigh actually might have a little bit of the safer floor because if he can return to what he did in 2023 and 2024, then we've got a quality bat that, yes, you don't want him facing a lot of lefties, but he's doing it, man. He can crush righties. He can absolutely crush them. So great to see those guys doing well. Those were two kind of big question marks that felt like they could swing this lineup one way or the other, literally. So good to see. Donovan, Young, Canzone, and Rayleigh all doing well. We're seeing Rosarena hit the ball hard as well, so that's encouraging to see. If we get him started, then I think we can cruise right around 500 with how good the rotation can be. Now let's get to the rotation. Let's get to Emerson Hancock here. He had an amazing start, absolutely amazing start. I don't think anybody expected him to be this good. Yeah. I did just want to review it a little bit. If you wanted to hear like a full start review, I did that on Tuesday. I think I was off Monday. But yeah, I was moving on Monday. Tuesday, yeah, I did a full review of Hancock's start. I would recommend go watching that episode. But I did want to just give a more concrete analysis here. Arm angle has changed for Hancock, which does change his pitches a decent amount. His arm angle is going from 18 degrees to 13 degrees. So if you're keeping track here, 18 degrees, 18 degrees right here, and then it goes down a little bit for 13 degrees. So he's not a full side armor or anything, but he's on his way because his arm angle has progressively gotten lower and lower and lower. Um, but yeah, I think that helps his sweeper, and then also it helps the four seamer a little bit more. Now the thing with this start, first off, just to say, 6 innings, shutout, 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Absolutely fantastic start, and it was just great to see for a guy like Hancock. Just has not had the success that we hope he can have. Now obviously the expectations have never been super high for Hancock, especially since he's been in the majors because he has not performed super well. This start was so different than every other Emerson Hancock start we have seen. The four seam fastball was 27% of the time. Now he does throw it naturally more to lefties, but he generally does lean on the sinker more rather than the four seamer majority of the time. But this one was just the four seamer absolutely dominating in the top of the zone. I do think the arm angle does have something to do with it. I think that helps a little bit. And you know what? Maybe at this arm angle, maybe his control will be a lot better. But I will say one thing with control is that it's kind of a skill that you either have or is super fluky. So I would say as of right now, I think Emerson Hancock is I think this start was just a small sample size. I think it's a great start, and I think he is going to be better this season than we've ever seen him before. But I do not think that he is consistently going to be a great arm. I don't think that. Do I think he can be now a passable arm and get the job done when we need him to? Yes. I think we would need our offense to be cooking though, majority of the time. Like I think he's not he's a he's a guy that I could easily see a decent amount of 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. I think I can see 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Uh, so whether that's passable, whether that's getting the job done to you, up for interpretation, up for whatever you think quality is, I guess. But if we want to adjust our expectations to what we've seen Hancock do before, I think it's realistic to say that he got a little bit lucky with his locations with the four seamer. Like I said on my last video, talking about Hancock on Tuesday, I think he got a little bit lucky with the four seamer. He threw it with such a high strike percentage and and it clearly did not get hit hard. So, like, that's just so rare. So, unless his four seamer the movement profile has changed dramatically, which is not it's not what I've heard. I think his control was just really good, and I don't think he's all of a sudden a control pitcher. I don't think that happens automatically, that now that's a new skill that he learned and he's good to go. I think he got lucky with the four seamer, and I think it's probably not going to work as well in his next start. Now, listen, I'm rooting for the guy. I really hope, I really hope this is him turning a corner, and maybe with the arm angle, he's figured out something and his control is going to be that much better. That would be awesome. And maybe the four seamer has taken a slight step up. Maybe his control's got a little bit better and he starts sprinkling in the sinker and changeup, which are generally his bread and butter that we're not really seeing very much at all in this past start. So maybe there's something here. Maybe there's a method to the luck here. Maybe he did get lucky in this start, but maybe he is better than I'm giving him credit for. And that's very possible. I think a 4 ERA, mid 4s ERA is very possible here. I don't see a lower than 4 ERA personally. And I don't see him getting this many strikeouts again. 9 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. I just don't see that as a realistic possibility right now for Hancock. But listen, man, I said that before going into the season, and he had a dope start. So anything can happen. It's freaking baseball. I'm rooting for him. I do not think it's legit. But I'm really excited to see this next start from him and see what we can get because I mean, he's just, he's a nice guy, and I want to see him succeed. And he's a freaking Seattle Mariner, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Real quick game preview. I've already gone on long enough. My gosh. We've got Brian Wu versus Reed Detmers on the Los Angeles Angels. We start a 3-game series versus the Angels. Detmers' last start kind of went the way that you kind of expect Reed Detmer starts to go. He went 4 2/3 innings pitched, 6 hits given up, 3 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. That's kind of what you expect to see from Detmers generally these days. Is a decent amount of hits, some runs given up, not a super long start, and lots of strikeouts. So we'll see what happens. This is a big tester for me. Can we take down lefties? We've faced a couple tough lefties versus the Yankees in Max Fried and Ryan Weathers. We faced one lefty versus the Guardians, which was Joey Cantillo in game 3. We did get to him a little bit. 3 2/3 innings pitched from him, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, given up 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. So I kind of would expect something similar with Detmers. I really hope we can get to him and see some quality contact. I'd love to see Rob Refsnyder get his first hit of the season. That would be great. I don't know if JP Crawford's going to be in the lineup right away. I would ease him in personally, but the fact that they brought him back so quickly from this rehab assignment, that's like, he was working on that sore shoulder for a while, like all throughout spring training. He did not play very much in spring training. So I thought the rehab assignment was going to go on just a little bit longer than it did. I mean, 1 week in and we're already back up in the majors, like kind of surprising. We'll see if he starts. We'll see what he can do. And Obviously, talking about the good batters that we have going right now, Canzone, Rayleigh, Brendan Donovan, Cole Young, it's all lefty bats. Can we hit lefties? Can we hit lefty starting pitchers? Can we get that done? And we need Ref Snyder to come through. We need Robles to step up a little bit. And obviously, we need our studs to start stepping up as well. I'm looking at you, Rally. I'm looking at you, Julio. So we'll see what happens in this start. I'm excited to see Wu again. I mean, he's a stud, man, and I think he's starting to prove that he is our ace and he is the guy that we need him to be. Just a solid ace starting pitcher that's going to give you 6 quality innings with a decent amount of strikeouts. We'll see what happens, guys. I'll see you back on Monday. Have a good one.